Hello, I'm AD Ramsey of Davita Handcraft Soap, here with another collaboration. This collaboration, we had to um, make a mold or use soap dough or something like that, and it's supposed to represent a memory or a toy of something around the holiday time. So I chose to make a mold using some Hershey Kiss. Oh, I might get demonetized for saying that. Some chocolate drops. When I tell you every time for the collaboration, thank you, Miss Renee, for putting this all together. I always say, oh, I'm going to make some cupcakes. I've never made cupcakes before. Hunty, what a major fail. This was the worst. But I will say this. I had a ton of fun. I'm doing a voiceover because I lost the first part of the footage. Half of it was because I was laughing so hard at myself. But this particular recipe has a lot of shea butter and olive oil, and it's so luxe. And just the batter itself looks like cream. That part, fantastic. The rest, all downhill. It's all fun and games until it goes completely sideways. Well, my memory that I wanted to bring was the memory of baking. I, as a child, never had to bake. My grandmother baked. My father was the baker for the whole family for all our events. And the reason he learned to bake was because he would always ask my grandmother for a chocolate, French chocolate. Is that silk chocolate pie? I don't even know the name of it because I'm not very fond of chocolate pie. But it was his favorite. So she taught him how to make it at a very young age. And he loved baking. When he was laid off at his job at General Motors, he baked as his little side hustle. So I'm baking what I thought was going to be like a little cupcake with a little white chocolate kiss on top. That's not what happened. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that train wreck a little later. But this smells so good. It's scented with a coconut and blue locust, I believe is the fragrance. So you see here, I'm popping them out. They look a mess. They look so inappropriate, like some inverted nipples or something. Oh, it's awful. But I chose white chocolate because a lot of my family, they don't like milk chocolate. But white chocolate, of course, isn't really chocolate. It's from coconut. So I wanted to go with that whole theme. And as you can see, it's not good. Here's a little close-up. Oh, goodness. Well, I decided to make the top, the frosting first. Oh, look at that olive oil. And I also tried the heat transfer method. So all the oils, the hard oils and lye are already in there. I'm just topping it off with a little bit of olive oil. This is such a great luxe recipe. Too bad I used it on this. But I turned out with soap, so that's all that matters. So I put a little TD in here to have a white base to go with our two-tone frosting. Now, right then, I knew that I was being way too ambitious. But I said, why not? I want to see what it looks like. So here's the base, and I'm going to split that off. We're using a little candy apple red. I have really been into red and red soaps lately. I don't know what's my tea. I just don't know. But it turned out such a beautiful pink blush color. Now look at me with my fancy toolbox. All the tools in here are baking inspired. Why do you ask? I had a class that I had to actually take cake decorating. I was horrible. We got in the class and we had to go around the room and people were like, oh yeah, I've been baking for 40 years and I have my own bakery. Oh yes, I'm the chef cuisine at such and such and such a. And what about you, ma'am? I've never baked a cake a day in my life. But they were so nice, and I got my little toolkit and they made me feel welcome, and I learned so much in that class. But you better believe this is probably the second time in life I've ever used it. And look at that poor little pitiful bag. Pitiful. So we have the bag all filled. I have no idea what tip that is or what's the maker. I have no clue. I haven't used this stuff in, oh my gosh, probably 18 years when I took the class back in culinary school. So with that same colorant and same recipe, we're going to fill up a couple of the silicone cupcake cups. Say that 4 times. I don't know why I have 6. I was only able to fill up 3. But I think I'm going to put this recipe, maybe not in this description since it's pretty full, but you guys really have to try this recipe. It feels so great on the skin. And we have 1, 2, 3 little cupcakes. And did I also fail to mention to you that my sister-in-law is an actual pastry chef? The next time I go home, I'll have her make some cupcakes with me and some roses. I want her to teach me how to do the flowers as well. So I'm struggling, but the soap is getting on there. I'm just taking my time. I'm not worried about the consistency, clearly, but it turned out okay. It turned out all right. No one was hurt in the filming of this video. This move right here, this is why they don't let line cooks in the pastry area. I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna dump this in here. Yeah. That looks right. Okay, let's look at our little cupcake. It smells so good. Ooh. Thank you to everyone who's participating in the collaboration. Check out all the other wonderful creators who are participating. Thank you, Miss Renee. Thank you to all the monitors on the Facebook page. And if you enjoy the shenanigans here on my channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.